So today we're going to connect two things that sound like they have nothing in common. A 100-year-old manufacturing revolution and, well, one of the biggest challenges in business today, which is getting seen by AI. What if I told you the secret to teaching a machine who you are was actually figured out long before computers were even a thing? Let's dive in. This quote right here, this gets to the absolute heart of it. We all kind of assume that AI is looking for something brilliant, something creative and new. But the truth? It's much more structured, almost industrial. You see, what AI really truly values is consistency. And that's the big idea we're going to unpack together. To really get how AI sees the world, we've got to go back in time, way back. We're going to see how one man's decision to swap out these quiet, creative whispers for some loud, industrial thunder completely changed the game. Okay, so picture it. It's the early 1900s. Building a car, that was an art form. You'd have a small, highly skilled team building a single car from the ground up. Every single vehicle was a little different, a testament to the people who built it. It was a world of whispers, where each car told its own unique story. But all that personal touch, it came at a huge cost. It took a staggering 12 hours to put together just one car. I mean, think about that. It was slow, it was expensive, and it was totally dependent on the unique skills of just a few people. It just wasn't going to scale. Henry Ford saw all this and had this totally radical idea. He didn't want whispers, he wanted thunder. He wanted to take the individual genius out of the equation and replace it with a flawless, repeatable system that pretty much anyone could follow. And the result? It was absolutely mind-blowing. In 1913, when he introduced the moving assembly line, the time it took to build a car just plummeted, from 12 hours down to 90 minutes. It was a complete revolution, a total triumph of the system over individual artistry. Now this right here is the key. This is the big takeaway from Ford. By making every single Model T identical, the same parts in the same order every single time, he wasn't just building cars faster. He was building something recognizable, a recognizable entity. The system wasn't just making products, it was creating memory. And that, my friends, brings us to the core question of this whole explainer. How on earth does this industrial breakthrough from over a century ago give us the exact blueprint for how we should be thinking about AI right now, in 2024? This is where the past and the present just click together perfectly. See, Ford's assembly line created a blueprint that modern AI systems are now following. Why? Because for an AI, structured, repeatable information is the only thing it can truly trust and recognize. We have this idea that AI is like some sophisticated art critic, appreciating all the little nuances and creative flair. But that is not how it works. Not at all. In reality, an AI is much more like Ford's factory manager. It's just looking for consistent patterns. It wants stable definitions. It needs a structure it can count on over and over again. The second the components start changing, the whole identity just falls apart in its eyes. So, what does all this mean for your business? Well, it means you have to stop thinking about your brand description as some kind of creative writing assignment and start treating it like a form of engineering. The source material actually has a perfect term for this: entity engineering. This is the end goal, a machine-readable identity. Let's break that down. It's basically a super precise, structured definition of who you are that an AI can understand with zero confusion. It's all about stability and consistency, designed for long-term machine memory, not for short-term creative changes. So how do you actually build this? Well, AI systems are looking for very specific structural signals. We're talking about a stable name, spelled the exact same way everywhere. One consistent label for what you do. It also includes some technical stuff like schema markup or JSON-LD, which is basically like a hidden name tag you put on your website that says, "Hey machine, this is exactly who I am." And of course, the same core definition repeated everywhere. This slide really just says it all, doesn't it? Up top, you can see what happens when you describe yourself differently all over the place. To an AI, that doesn't look like one brand with a cool personality. It sees a bunch of different, confusing things. But on the bottom, when you're consistent, you build what the source material calls semantic endurance. It's like creating a permanent, locked-in memory of who you are inside the AI's brain. Okay, so we need a system, right? The source material gives us one. It's called the Identity Assembly Protocol. And I want you to think of it just like a modern digital assembly line for building a brand that machines can actually recognize, and more importantly, trust. This protocol has 4 stages, just like stations on a factory floor. First up, standardize your parts. That means you audit all your language and fix every single inconsistency. Second, you lock in your core definition. Write it once and then never, ever change it. Third, you install the machinery. That's the schema markup we talked about. And finally, number 4, deployment. You take that locked definition and you repeat it everywhere, over and over again. All right, let's make this super practical. Here are 5 non-negotiable steps you can take to start building your own digital assembly line, like right now. Step 1, audit. Go search for your business and find every single description of it online. How many different versions are out there? Step 2, write. Craft 1 permanent 2 to 3 sentence definition. That's it. Step 3, install. You have to add that technical schema markup to your site. This one is absolutely non-negotiable. Step 4, deploy. Go update every single online profile you have with your new locked-in language. And finally, step 5, reinforce. From now on, use that same core terminology in all the new content you create. And that brings us right back to where we started, with this one final question. In the age of AI, you really do have a choice. You can keep on being a unique, handcrafted whisper that just gets lost in all the noise, or you can build a system, an assembly line for your identity and become a thunderous, unmistakable entity that machines will recognize, remember, and even recommend. The choice is yours.